Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show is about to begin.
I will always feel something. I will always feel.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Lunchin with Lisa. So we took a break for a week or two or something like that because Thanksgiving came about. So I'm hoping everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Mine was nice and quiet, which is always a wonderful thing. And we're back at it. We have 3 more shows before we give it up for the year and come back in January and give the team a break. But I'm excited about these last 3 guests. Tonight, we have a wonderful guest on. We're going to give you a little sneak peek of her work, but we're going to talk to her about her journey and share a little bit about how we connected and all that she has going on. But I wanted to just remind you all that Dove Style Magazine, which we have out there, is actually the November articles are live and we're working on December. So you all please visit dovestylemagazine.org and check out the new articles, and there's more coming. We have some exciting things coming. If you all remember the Old School Rollers, the movie that I was in as a host for a skating battle. We did some interviews with people at that viewing, so at the movie theater. So that's coming. A lot of great things coming. And we also have a Dove Style Magazine exclusive, where one of our contributing writers is actually going to be interviewing violinist Dominique Hammonds. And that's going to be on December 7th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please make sure you tune in on the 7th of December and check that out on the Dove Style Magazine page, live and on YouTube. So with that being said, like I said, Thanksgiving was wonderful. I'm hoping you all had a great holiday, but we're going to go right into introducing you to our guest for the evening. So I'm going to give a little introduction, but her story is way bigger than this introduction. But actor, writer, and director Keya Hamilton grew up in a home where music and creative expression were at its center. She is best known for her role in the Hallmark Christmas movie, Christmas in Harmony. Keya began her adult acting career in theater, touring the U.S., performing in the hilarious award-winning stage play, Mama's Girl. I wanted to mention that. We're going to talk a little bit about that. In addition to working on stage, Keya has worked on countless independent films, series, and commercials. After working for and being inspired by Kelly Freeman Craig and James L. Brooks on Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. She decided to take the plunge in directing. Woo woo. And Keya is excited about her directorial, I hope I said that right, debut on a film she wrote called The Conversation. So welcome to Lunchin with Lisa, Keya.
Hello, Lisa. How are you?
I am good and happy to see you. It is a pleasure to have you on the show. I want to start because we met years ago.
We did.
And I mentioned Mama's Girls. If you all did not catch Mama's Girls, you all missed a wonderful, I think I've seen it several times. But I wanted to first ask you a question. Like, how did you, I know you grew up in a household with, I would say, creatives and doing all that kind of stuff. What made you interested in acting and music?
Well, honestly, I don't know a time in my life that I wasn't involved in acting and music. I was in the children's choir at church when I was a little girl. My mom always wrote skits and plays and allegories, and there was always a part for me. So it's kind of been a part of my life forever. So that's just part of who I am.
Well, in music. So did you sing or do you play an instrument? What kind of things do you do
I
in
play
music?
piano and I sing.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm saying that because when I grew up, and my mother always, I don't know if you all used to do this because I'm not an actor by any means, but we used to do like skits for Thanksgiving and Christmas and make our grandparents and aunts and uncles sit down and watch us do all kinds of crazy stuff.
I would make
Y'all
them
do that?
listen to me play the piano, or if I wrote a song or whatever it might be. Yeah, they were always a willing audience.
Right. To listen, and look at you now. So did you feel like even back then that you would be on stage or on movie screens, or you were just having fun?
You know what? I was just having fun. It was just becoming more and more a part of me. When I graduated from high school, my mom was like, "You should major in music, vocal performance." And I was like, "No, I don't know." Like, I just didn't know what I really wanted to do. I needed a gap year.
Right.
Um, but music was always a part of what I did. I sang in the choir at college, and, I sang my entire life. And whenever there was a play, I would do plays. And when I was at college, I took a theater class and I was like, oh my God, this is where I'm supposed to be. So I was doing theater there. So wherever I am in my life, it was always a part. And then there just came a point where it was like, this is what I have to do.
Right, right. And you are natural. It just seems like that even when you're home chilling on a break, you are the same Keya. Like I can just see you just cracking jokes. And that's why this clip that we're going to show is absolutely hilarious, because I was like, that just seems like her. Like in the midst of everything, she's just going to keep it real with you. So what I wanted to do before we got into some more questions is actually go into show a clip of Keya. She was actually in a movie. If you all haven't seen this movie, you are missing a true treat. I think I've watched it a couple of times. Great movie, but it's called Christmas in Harmony. And we're going to run a little video and come back and have some more conversation with Keya.
And my feet still hurt.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it. So tell us a little bit about that experience with this movie, because this is huge, and I want to know a little bit about that piece right there. Was that planned, or what happened?
Well, so anybody that knows me knows I have completely given up heels. So if you'll notice, that character never had heels on, even though wardrobe suggested. It was just not, I knew I would be standing 12 hours a day, and it just, I can't do it for 15 minutes. So
I get it.
even though I did have comfortable shoes on, my feet still continued to hurt. And I guess I said it one too many times. Oh, my feet hurt, or whatever. And the director walked up and he was like, scratch that line, say, and my feet still hurt. And I'm like, okay. And we did it once, and there it is.
How about to see that just goes to show you can innocently be saying something and it just works. It works. Because it was hilarious when it happened and I saw you say it. I was just like, no, that's funny, because I could see you saying that for real. But the fact that you actually told the backstory on that,
I have been saying that.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. So tell me about this project. How did you get involved in this?
I had actually just wrapped on the Lionsgate project, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. And I had done a couple of small things here and there, but I really hadn't worked on anything for about 5 weeks. And I heard they were doing the project, and I talked to the extras casting person. Mm-hmm. And she was like, hop in the car, come get COVID tested. So that's what I did. And within 2 days on set, the first AD came up and asked me my name, and I auditioned, and I was upgraded to a full-fledged role in the movie. And, I'm not represented, not in this exact moment. I have not had an agent or anything like that. So I just say God is my agent. And that's what it is. Right. Sometimes you're just in the right place at the right time, but you have to be ready.
That's right.
Being ready is key. We can ask for opportunities all day long, but if we're not ready when those opportunities come, what good are they?
That's right. That's right. And all it takes is a yes. You didn't, and I'm sure you didn't hesitate, because this really is old hat for you anyway. We mentioned a little bit about Mama's Girl. So that was a stage play. Because I wanted to get into the difference with you being in this movie and working with some other talents in the movie as well. But what's the difference between play versus movie? Like, which one do you prefer?
So it's very difficult to say which one I prefer because doing live theater is like oxygen. So I need that to breathe, to sustain myself. So if I'm out doing a murder mystery or I'm doing something, I'm always doing something with a live audience. But my passion is film acting.
Okay.
So so I need them both. I need to breathe and I need passion. So, I need them both, but I'll tell you, they're both rewarding, but in different ways. So when you are on the stage and you want the audience to laugh, you can make them laugh. Or if you want them to cry or be excited or feel whatever emotion, you have the ability to connect with them in that way, in that moment. And that moment can never be duplicated.
That's right.
But with film, it's like you can create a moment that can be felt over and over again.
Okay.
So they're both wonderful things. It's just what's appropriate to tell that particular story.
Yeah, and I was waiting to ask you that question because I had the opportunity to be in a play, and it was so nervous. I mean, the butterflies were like totally different. Because I mean, it's kind of like that whatever you say, whether it's right or it's wrong, it's out.
Yeah.
And you can't take it back. So you really have to truly go with the flow and just work it out. With film, like when I did the old school rollers film, you could do another take and then try to do this again the same way.
Right.
But with stage, it was just kind of like whatever. If you fall, if you whatever it is, you just go with it. But
Keep going.
I like that because that's what makes the comedy so rich, because you kind of figure out, oh, I don't think that was on purpose, but that was hilarious.
Right.
But because you have skills with this, you can do that on film too, because that's actually what you did in that clip is they just said, okay, keep doing that, but you actually did it for real. And they were just like, that works.
Wow.
So tell me a little bit about, before we go back to the Hallmark movie, Mama's Girls. So tell us a little bit about how that was, because that you all were on tour with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
For a long time.
Yeah, we were on tour for several years with that. And so Mama's Girls is finished. And so we've just all moved on to different projects.
And I that's where I first met Keya, and they were here in DC, but I know you all traveled all over the place. And you've also done a lot of commercials, you've done other things. So again, tell us a little bit about how it was to work on set with some other, amazing people. And then I do want to hear about the new project you mentioned about Are You There? I want to know a little bit about that.
Well, I have just been blessed over the last year and a half to work on some incredible projects with some great cast and crews and wonderful production. So I worked on a TV show called Delilah. It was on OWN.
Okay.
And Warner Brothers. And I actually was able to work in two different departments. I worked in the production office, which was great to learn a lot about the inner workings, the paperwork, all of contracts, just all of that kind of stuff that you really may not have any exposure to. And because I'm a filmmaker, not just an actor, I kind of want to know a little bit about everything. So it was great. And then after 5 weeks, I got the opportunity to move into the art department. And I worked on the set deck team. And I worked with some incredible ladies, all women in there. And it was just incredible to watch them work and watch the creativity. They taught me how to do so many things as far as set decorating is concerned. I've done it before, but when you've got people who come from LA and New York and different places, you get to learn a totality of the skill, not just the little bit that you learn in your little pocket. So that was great to get to do that, and then to turn around and watch it and see things that I physically made with my hands on the sets. So that was really a great experience. Then I went directly from there on to Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret.
Okay.
And supported the director there. And that was just an incredible experience. It's hard to even describe it because I got to watch all through pre-production, through production, which means as they brought on department heads, I got to, watch how things came together. And then to sit behind the director and literally watch her direct was just incredible. It was incredible to watch her pour herself into that film. I cannot wait to see it. Like, I'm so excited.
So when does it come? When is it coming out?
It will be out in 2022. I have not
Okay.
heard of a release date yet, but the moment that I hear, it will be plastered all over my social media.
Absolutely. And I'm thinking everybody, if you all don't know, and I know this is probably generational, if you've never heard of that. But when I read it, because I didn't realize that, but when I read it, I just smiled because I remembered that. And I like the fact that we do things like that and kind of show the generations that came behind us, because they don't know. They don't know what we did, what we read. They don't know what our arts look like. So I like to kind of bring some of that back.
Yeah.
So directing is kind of what you've been doing. So are you getting more into that? Do you like the directing?
I have been. I've been studying, I've been reading, and I have been writing a lot. Writing is something that I've always done, just not in the capacity of scripts. I always wrote short stories or half-finished novels or, all sorts of things like that. And then one day, a few years ago, I said, why don't I try to write a script? I read them all the time.
Right. Absolutely.
And it was so easy.
Read them, study them, everything.
And it was perfect because it was exactly what I needed to have been writing. I just didn't recognize it. And I should have recognized it because my mom's been doing it all my life. But
that's right. That's right. Because you said she always had a part for you.
It just didn't click that was something that I needed to do. But in some ways, I'm glad that I started writing now because there's so many stories. I've seen so much. I've experienced so much. I care about so many different things.
Absolutely.
So I have the opportunity to write about these things now. And it's crazy because I don't even have a specific genre. I'm writing sitcoms or a feature film or a short film or just whatever story
I love
starts
it.
Cultivating.
Well, because writing is my thing, so I love it. I wanted to know, like, even in acting or even in writing scripts, you said you don't have a specific genre, but when you're doing the acting, do you like comedy? Do you like drama? What do you like? I could see you in all of them, but I'm wondering which you like.
Well, it's funny because I always have pinned myself as a dramatic actress, And the funny thing is I am cast most often in a comedic role. So that may be my niche.
It's the energy. You have that energy. But someone who has that energy could also do drama. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel like I could put that same intensity in there. And I've done it and it's been successful. But for the most part, in the last few years, I'm finding that, I'm definitely booking more comedic roles. And I'm fine with that because they are so fun.
Yeah. I mean, you seem like you were having, even though I was watching the movie, it just seemed like that you were just kind of hanging out with your friends, and it was like regular choir stuff. Like, some people like each other, some people get on my nerves, but we got to sing right now. And it just seemed really regular and normal. So did you have fun on set? How long did it take you all to do that film?
3 weeks.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. And I will say I had a blast. I had a really good time. I made friends, people that I'll continue to talk to. There were friends there because like I said, I had just left a production, and a lot of that crew from that production was on this production.
Oh, well, that was cool.
So it was great because I was surrounded by people that I work with all the time. So it was a really, really good experience.
It seemed like you had a good time. I enjoyed watching it. So tell everybody, is it still running? Tell everybody where the movie was, because I know I saw it. I think it the second or third time it was running on the
Yeah, it
Hallmark Channel.
aired 5 times last month, and it will be on the 7th of December again.
Oh wow! So the 7th of December. So you all need to check out. And it's still on the Hallmark
On the
Channel.
Hallmark Channel, yes.
And the name is Christmas in Harmony.
Yeah.
You all look out for Keya, because we didn't give you a little hint of the scene that she's in, but she's actually in the movie, and I love it. And congratulations to you. Because
Thank you.
I know we don't get to, talk and that kind of thing, but I'm still watching you and cheering you on all of the time.
Oh, thank
So
you.
tell us a little bit about, do you have any other projects, things coming up that you're going to be doing or working on? And you do a lot of commercials and things like that. So I would want to ask, like, what advice you would give to somebody young, or even not, I wouldn't even say young, but somebody
No,
who's
not young.
interested, in getting into it, because sometimes people don't realize that they have a gift in that area, and to just try it out, or just for the experience 1 or 2 times, that's fine too.
Well, I would say for actors that are interested in being actors, and I'll call them actors to start, because that's the first thing you got to do. You got to just start calling yourself an actor. You got to believe that this is what you are.
Okay.
You have to suspend your belief. I'm not Keya anymore. I'm this individual. So if they're taking it seriously, then they need to immediately start taking classes.
Okay.
And, not just from anybody, find a really reputable acting coach or classes in your city. If you can do them in person, that would be great. But a lot of places are doing them online.
Okay.
But take classes. Second thing, get good professional headshots. I'm also a casting director. And when you see, all of the headshots, you look at them next to each other. Does this person look good with this person? Do these people look like a family? But if you don't have a good professional headshot that looks like you look right now, it's not going to do you a service at all. I mean, you just need to have a good professional headshot that gets you in the door. Start putting together your resume. The easiest way to start putting together your resume is anything that you've done, just put it on the list. You can Google actor's resume and you can see how to format it. If you don't have a lot of experience and you don't really have anything to put on it, you put on there the classes that you're taking, the books that you're reading, and then you go out onto Facebook groups, Facebook film groups, acting groups, and you volunteer. Because what happens is folks will want to do a project, they don't have a budget, but they want to film anyway. So they ask people to come, they'll feed them, give them IMDb credit, give them clips of their work.
Okay.
And then that's kind of like a barter system, and do that so that you can get some real footage and so that you can put stuff on your resume. Once you've got stuff on your resume and you've got your clips, then you can put them together in an actor's demo reel. And then you're ready to start submitting.
Wow.
After that, then you can start thinking about getting an agent and things like that. But those are all kind of the preparatory steps.
And that sounds like the fun steps. I mean, just to kind of test it out, see if it's something that you like to do. I know with my family, we would just all say, you all are drama, so we need you all to go into some area of something. When I fell into, and actually some of the roles that I fell into were because of what I do with interviewing with the magazine and things like that. And they need some of those people on set. So I might have been in a space where I was actually covering an event and they were like, okay, well, we need somebody for this particular role. Can you step in? And it was still nervous, because I will say that the scariest part of film for me was memorizing. I give you all so much credit because I was so intimidated by, and I of course didn't have a huge script or anything, but I was like, memorize this? What?
Yeah.
And I didn't even have a lot to say, but it was like, I can't believe that people just And then you're talking about a casting director and doing directing and all of that. We had a script director who was helping me to do some of my scenes, but I was like, how do you do this for all of these people? Because you actually have to learn everybody's script and all the inflection and your voices and all that kind of stuff. I know they had to push me for the energy. It was like, okay, we need more energy. I'm so laid
Yeah.
back most of the time. But when I'm, alone at home with my friends and things, I found that energy. But when it's on like call, you got to just do it. Then it's kind of like, oh, okay.
Gotta be able to turn it on and off.
Right. It was like, it wasn't natural for me, but after you get the hang of it, and I do agree that when you're on set with people that you know that are helping you, it don't make you feel like, you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
It makes it a little easier. So, I'm so proud of everything that you're doing. Are there any
thank
tips
you.
on like commercials and things, like any tips on where they go to even start to maybe do commercials?
They can always go to the website Actors Access and create a free profile there.
Okay.
There are auditions there, and those are some of those good beginning projects.
Okay.
That may pay a little bit or not at all. But I will say, only do so many unpaid gigs. Like, set a number and say, okay, after this, I feel like I should start getting paid. You know what I mean? But
Right.
But absolutely, I still have friends and they write something and say, hey, let's film it, and we just go do it. So yes, you still do things like that, but you also have to manage and budget your time.
Okay.
Because if you're doing it seriously, you have to make an income. So that means you have to get paid to do it.
Yes. Well, which also means that you need that time to study that script and get it right and all that kind of stuff. And you can't just sit down and do it. And here's the other thing with film that I learned. You can actually learn your script. But if someone else comes on set and and they don't know theirs and you're actually interacting with them, that can be very interesting because what you memorize is kind of going to come out differently because they don't even know the line before yours. So
see, that's just, I can't even with that. So
see, that's real actor right there. It's like, what? But it makes for interesting day. I know I have been totally stressed, like, oh my gosh, so what do I do now? But I kind of remember like what I do on, like if I'm interviewing somebody or something like that where things aren't scripted. So, you're just kind of talking on the fly anyway. So you just kind of pay attention to the conversation and roll with it. That's all I say.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm going to switch gears. So what we're going to do is play another commercial and we're going to come back and we're going to switch gears and go into the Lunchin with Lisa part where we're going to put you on the spot and we're going to talk about maybe some things that people are lunching about. Okay. So we will be right back after this. Welcome back. So I wanted to first start off by saying something you mentioned with acting that I actually wanted to expand on that. And it's for every field you go into. Having a great professional headshot is just important for almost everything that you do, whether it's acting or writing or just whatever. You have to have good pictures. I know we all get into the phone thing and I enjoy a selfie just like the next person. Yeah. But when it really comes down to going out there and doing the things you need to do that take you to the next level, you have to kind of invest in certain things. And I am not pictures. I like doing the selfies and things like that, but I do get nervous with I know my photographer one time said, you can pose, relax or whatever, but I am so in the age of school pictures where you just sat up straight and you just looked at the camera, and professional picture is not that. It's not that. I had to learn that the hard way when I started the magazine, but I also learned that it's necessary. So that was a good tip that you gave in anything that you do. When you're out here and you got a brand, you got a business, you do have to, one of those things like that black dress or, black suit, you got to have a good headshot.
And something that I would add to that is if you're an actor, you need to get a photographer that specializes in actors' headshots.
Okay.
Because they're different. They're looking for they have to feel something. They have to see something through your eyes. Your eyes are the most important thing on that headshot.
Absolutely.
You don't want to include too much body. You need somebody who knows how to give you exactly what you need and knows how to pull that out of you so that you've got multiple shots that you can use, because you need more than one as an actor.
Right.
And don't let them get stale or stagnant. You want to freshen them up periodically, especially as an actor, because those casting directors are looking at those pictures and they may not be selecting you. So you may need a fresh picture. You may need something that speaks to them more.
Right.
So definitely don't be afraid, to spend some money to get headshots, because they pay off in the long run.
Absolutely. Great advice. So you all just take heed to that, because that is excellent advice. I just wanted to mention that. So now we run into a section of the show where it's called Lunchin with Lisa. So for those of you all who tune in all the time, we have a section where I really encourage our viewers to go out to send me subjects. It could be about mask wearing, it could be about whatever, relationships, anything, but send me an email and let me know what's on your mind. What do you think people are lunching about? And I always remind people, how the world has been for the last couple of years. There's plenty out there to talk about. So we have our lunchbox, because we're lunching with Lisa. So now, for those who don't know, luncheon does not mean that there is food involved in here. I am not serving you food or drink. My age group says luncheon when you are tripping about something. So we actually get people to give us ideas, and we drop them into the lunchbox, and then we pull them out for our guests, and we talk about something. So you have no idea what we're going to talk about. No. We have talked about the crate challenge. We have talked about masks. We talk about all kinds of things. I want to keep this a little fun and seasonal, because this is Christmas. And those who know me know that I love Christmas. Yes, my tree is up. So that is going to be kind of what Keya and I will talk about. And for you all that are tuning in, join in, please, and comment. But I wanted to ask, is your tree up? Is it not? Why or why not? So what about you, Keya?
No, my tree is not up. This is what, December the 2nd. Okay.
Yes, it is.
So I'm good still. Okay.
So you said it's a little too early.
I am going to get it up.
Now, I will say this. My tree is up. Yes, I'm a little pressed. I will say that when my children were younger, the tree was up, and we did it up. I mean, it was just all over the place. Yeah. And then when we became empty nesters, it wasn't such a big deal. But yes, I needed to have a tree up, but it would go up a couple of days before Christmas. Like, okay, nobody's looking but me. I don't want to keep plugging it in and out, because the kids are not here to do that job anymore.
Right.
But now that I have a grandbaby, I felt like on Thanksgiving, he wants to see the tree. Maybe it's a little bit about me too, but so it is up and the house is decorated. I still do the themes for each year. So we have way more in ornaments that we need to have, because I change up every year.
Right.
But do you do a theme for Christmas?
No, I do not do a theme.
He is like, you are doing too much.
Okay, when I get the tree up, so the tree has gotten smaller and smaller each year.
Right.
Because, my kids are grown now.
That's right.
And I used to do the full on like decorate everything. So now the tree gets out, like a couple of little tree ornaments somewhere like around, and like a little bell on the door, front door, and a star on the outside of the front door. And that's it. I changed the placemats out to red and put
See?
this mistletoe thing on the table.
So you have toned it down quite a bit.
Oh yes. I mean, so last year I was working on Delilah.
Okay.
So I was working 14 hours a day.
Right.
So, you know, well, 12.
Yeah,
It was 12 on that show.
Yes,
12.
It's time for this, right?
So yeah. So the whole idea of getting the tree up, that it got up.
Well, and I do in my family, I probably have worn them out over the years, but back in the day, it was really a whole tradition. Like going out and finding, first of all, my rule was it has to be a live tree. Absolutely has to be a live tree. I was just kind of addicted to the smell, the fresh pine and everything. Not realizing that everybody else was kind of like over it because the needles were driving them crazy afterwards. And I'm like, what is the big deal? I mean, it's a live tree. This is Christmas. I like to go out and shop for it in the cold and the snow. And yeah, and they're like, this is a lot, but they did it. So now when we moved the last time, my husband was like, no more live trees. That's just too much. It's too much. So I did we actually have a black Christmas tree. And it is smaller because I wanted to do different. Because at first I was like, I don't know, but they're actually kind of pretty. And it was smaller. So now that we have a grandbaby, though, I think my husband said we need a bigger tree because I think this is all about the baby.
Of course, building memories, taking pictures, all of that.
Well, because you like to see the face light up. Now, what we don't do is do outside. So we used to do that with he went up on the roof and all that stuff. Ain't nobody doing all. We might fall and we don't heal the same at this age. So nobody is going up on any roofs and putting up lights. I put a wreath on the door. That's what we do. We put a wreath on the door and call it a day. But I thought that would be a fun thing to talk about. And anybody else who's out there, if y'all have, have your tree up. My tree has actually been up for probably 2 weeks. My tree has been up. So I have issues, but my family does know Christmas is my thing. But by New Year's, I am taking it down the very next day, if not the day before, so I don't have to do it the day after. Because there are no kids in the house anymore. So I mean, I don't even trip about the gifts on the tree because it's like, okay, everybody's not getting all these toys and stuff. So once you open them up, take it to your room or take it to because this gonna come down in a minute. So so I thought that would be fun to talk about.
Yeah.
I love Christmas. So thank you for
absolutely
having some fun with that. So what I wanted to do while we were on here is do a giveaway. So for some of those who don't know, I have a business called Touched by Dove Creations, and I do wreaths and all kinds of things for any holiday. But I did create a wreath, and the young lady who was going to get the wreath actually had something else someone had gifted her with. So she actually wanted me to pay it forward. So I am paying it forward and giving away a wreath for the holidays. So I wanted to show what it looks like. And then Keya is going to come up with the question that we can ask from when we were interviewing, and whoever can answer it correctly will get this wreath. I'll get it in the mail to you or drop it off if you're in the area. But I wanted to show you this wreath that I did. So here is the wreath.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Thank you. So you all know that I absolutely love burlap. I was actually surprised to find out that some people didn't know what burlap was. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? And when they talked about burlap, all they could think about was the potato sack race. And that's their idea of burlap. But burlap can be used for a whole lot of things. And I actually taught myself years ago because I had a black Christmas tree and wanted to do burlap ornaments. And I wanted to make them myself because burlap can be really expensive. When you go out for the wreaths, they were just like hundreds of dollars for these wreaths. So I was like, well, let me make my own. And I started and posted some things out on Facebook. People love them. And I've been, hooking people up ever since. I
remember.
Yeah, I do the deco mesh and all of that. I have a ball with it. It's kind of like my release. I'm a creative. So it's like, this is my craft room. That's why my craft room office looks like this. There's plenty of wreaths and books and flowers, everything that I love. So I wanted to come up with a question, Keya, something maybe we discussed earlier that people can, somebody can guess and actually win the wreath. So you got
Okay. How about, what is the name of the movie that I was in that airs on December 7th?
Yes. So who knows? And don't be trying to go to nobody's page. Don't go to Keya's page or whatever. Did you listen? And what was the name of the movie that is actually going to be airing again on December 7th? We should have made them say which channel will be airing on. But let's see. I might have an extra giveaway for somebody who can tell us what channel it'll be airing on as well. So the first person to give us the name of the movie that Keya is in, and if you can tell me what channel it will be airing on, because we did mention that, I actually have another surprise that I'll add in with the wreath. So I think we see Tina says, I think it begins with D. No. There's three. Okay, I'll give you a hint. There's 3 words. The movie has 3 words in it. And we all know the season that we're in. So y'all think about it while we're still talking. So again, the first person to name what movie Keya is in, that will be airing again on December 7th. If you can also give me the channel that'll be on, we might have to give them some hints because I see you all have not been paying attention. But I ain't gonna talk about y'all. But again, let me show you the wreath. And this is just a giveaway so you all can win this burlap wreath. It says thankful. It's wonderful for any occasion. And I will say that the wreaths that I do actually don't just go on the door. They can go in your office, on your wall. So I do treatments for my living room. I just love it. So we don't have a winner yet, Keya, but we're going to give them a few more minutes while we're talking. So what we're going to do is go back, and I don't think, I was wondering if the clip had the name in it, but it doesn't. I don't think. It's just a clip of you. So we're going to run the clip, and then we're going to come back and see if somebody knows.
And my feet still hurt.
Thank you.
We should have actually had him guess what was the line that she said. Oh, Michelle is definitely one who she comes to win. Okay, so congratulations, Michelle. It is Christmas in Harmony. Did you go and look that up somewhere? So the other part of this, if somebody can tell me what channel that it'll be airing on, post it in here, and I will add another little treat to the gift. So Michelle, congratulations. You will be getting a wreath. And if someone can tell me the extra gift, either if it's Michelle, if you can do it, you'll get 2 gifts. If somebody else wins it, they can get another gift. So thank you so much for participating in that. So before we go, I wanted to kind of talk to Keya about, so did you say you had some, oh, you're welcome, Michelle. Did you say you had some other projects that were coming up lately, or is there anything that we need to look out for?
Well, there are a couple of projects that are coming up, but I can't actually talk about them right now.
Okay.
But I did just get, like as of today, an LA agent. So I hope to be auditioning for bigger, more projects, praying to extend my territory.
Absolutely. So are you in LA? Where are you now? You in?
I'm still in Charlotte. I'm still in Charlotte, North Carolina. Yes.
Okay.
And I travel as necessary.
So have you done, I wanted to ask this, do you do a lot of traveling when it comes up to, say you do some auditioning and it ends up being in another state? Do you, travel and go and do what you got to do?
I do. I haven't had to a lot recently.
Okay.
Interestingly, since the pandemic started, we've had more productions here in North Carolina.
Oh,
So I've had
okay.
the opportunity to work within the state. So traveling away from home, yes, but outside of the state, no, I've not had to in basically
Probably
2
before,
years.
before
I mean,
COVID.
little things like maybe to Virginia or South Carolina or something like that, but nothing like traveling across the country.
So are you excited to maybe land something in LA and go out there? And
Absolutely.
I bet.
Absolutely.
I bet. What is Michelle said, and have been looking at Amazon Prime all day. I don't think it's on Amazon Prime. Nope. So okay, so I'll give you a tip on where it'll be aired. What's a good hint?
It was on the clip.
It was on the clip. It was on the clip. Y'all weren't looking. It was on the clip, and the first I'll say that it begins with an H. And the second word is channel. Okay, Michelle got it. So congratulations, Michelle. You'll have another little treat in there with your wreath. And she's in Maryland. She's across the bridge, but I might, maybe we can meet up and I can actually not ship it to you, but bring it to you or something, drop it off. So thank you, Michelle, for participating. And yes, there'll be another little treat in there. Thanks. That was fun, Keya. I appreciate that.
That was fun.
So I wanted you to tell everybody, like, where can they follow you, check out what's going on with you, or even because you mentioned something about directing and things like that. So it may be a time when you actually are looking for people for projects you have going on. So how can they get in touch with you?
The easiest way to find me is on Instagram, and that's Talk to Kiki, TALK, the number 2, KEKE.
Okay.
You can also find me on TikTok, Talk to Kiki, same thing. That's my handle for everything. But yeah, absolutely connect with me on social media. I love to meet new people, connect and network with folks. So feel free to reach out. Talk to Kiki.
Look, I might have to reach out to you on. I'm trying to learn TikTok. I'm scared of TikTok because it's like I want to do
I'm not the
crazy
one
things.
yet. I'm not there yet. The only thing on my TikTok is that clip.
Oh,
I gotta figure out how to make the video.
well,
Gotta
my
talk to
son
my
does
son about that.
TikToks all the time. He's in college. I will say I forgot to tell you all. I'm really excited about it. But my son graduates from UMES on December 17th. He's a kinesiology major, so we are so excited. Yes, I'm going to embarrass him like crazy. He already knows who I am, so he just needs to expect I'll be the loudest one, inside, outside, wherever we're going to be. But and Michelle's on that side, so she said something about doing lunch. So I just might have to do lunch and go over there because I love UMES. It's in Queen Anne's, another part of Maryland, beautiful on the water. So definitely get out there. But and I forgot what I was telling you all, but what was I saying, Keya?
I got wrapped up in your
Look,
son.
I know. It popped in. This is what happened when you're over 50. Things kind of pop in and you got to just roll with it. But no, I want to, Keya, share with you where you can find her, what she has going on. So please make sure you reach out to her. Oh, we were talking about TikTok, and he likes to do these crazy videos and things. So I think I did one with the James Brown music or something and making little crazy looks. But I still felt so crazy doing it. But it's like with TikTok, you see things and you're like, I want to do that. But when the opportunity is there, you're like, I don't know. You're looking crazy. So yeah, we'll have to learn together. But I actually like watching TikTok. I know people think we're a little lame on this end, but my husband and I will turn it on and just watch for hours. To people's
It's
videos.
easy to get caught up.
It really is. It really is. It's people are funny, and I like that people are relaxed on TikTok. So you get older people who are just dancing to the music and just enjoying their time. And I'm like, ain't nothing wrong with this. This is
Nothing.
This is cool. You can't go out. You want to be safe. So you just have a good time and turn on the camera. It's okay sometimes to turn on the camera and have a little fun.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And Keya knows firsthand there's nothing wrong with being in front of the camera.
Nothing wrong whatsoever.
I know that's right. So please check out Keya. She's doing wonderful things. Reminder, December 7th. Do you know what time on December 7th is coming?
I believe it's 4:00, but I would say check your local listings.
Okay, and will you probably post something if I see, something, I'll put it on my page as well. But yeah, check out the Hallmark Channel. She said maybe around 4:00, Christmas in Harmony. It's a wonderful film. You'll see, I think you'll see Keya a whole lot more. Along with some other faces that are there. And yeah, check out her work and what she's doing. And we wish you the best with everything you do. I also want to remind you that we only have 2 more shows after tonight. And this is a holiday. Actually, our guest that's coming on the 16th is Sylvia Traymon Morrison, who is the first Black female impersonator. She's impressionist. She's coming on the 16th, so I'm excited to have her on. And she was actually tuned in tonight, checking you out. Wonderful person. She's in comedy, but she's wonderful. And then next week we're actually going to have the Lunchin with Lisa crew. I have some crew behind me, behind stage, Shariva, Felicia, and Cheryl, and we're gonna meet up with the podcast crew called Bruh It's a Podcast. Okay, and it's four young men. I call them young men. And we're just going to have a good time on screen and talk about some things. I know on their podcast, they just get to talking about everything. So I might have to put out some disclaimers. We're going to behave ourselves, but I think it's going to be a fun time for the holidays. It's kind of like holiday on screen with the show. So I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Keya, for coming past Luncheon with Lisa. I'm hoping you will come back again.
Absolutely. I've enjoyed myself.
Yes, and when your next project comes out, or if you just want to come hang out with us, you are more than welcome anytime. We appreciate you. I want to remind you all to tune in every Thursday up until the 16th, and then we're taking a break until January the 13th or something like that. We'll be back on to start off for the new year again, but on Thursday, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we go live on Facebook and YouTube, so you don't have to miss these shows. If you weren't able to make it tonight, you can come on the replay, or you can go to dovestylemagazine.org, or you can go to my YouTube channel, Lisa Dove Washington, and catch the show at any time. And you can share it anytime. So all of the excuses are out the window. I just removed them all, right? So until next week, thank you again for tuning in. And Keya, we wish you all the best. And I will be tuned in again on the 7th to check you out.
Thanks.
Have a wonderful